To wrap up the section on Super, I want to show you some additional features that Super has and some workarounds for things that aren't yet natively possible in Super. So there are a lot of features in here that you'll probably enjoy, and things that address common problems and questions you get when building Super websites. So let's dive right in. First of all, you can create so-called linked images in Super. And this is basically just an image that if you click on it, it will take you to some link. And I've set this up here. So you see, if I click on this link, it will take me to one of my websites. And the way I set this up is if you go into your Notion page, so any page that you create with Super, and you add an image, then you just have to add a caption to that image. And in the caption, you have to put the URL. And then Super will actually automatically translate that into, okay, you want this image to be linked, and therefore we'll add the link to the image. And now the link is actually clickable on the entire image. Next, we have what Super calls linked collections. And basically, it's an alternative way to use Notion databases on your Super website. So, if you have a database in Notion, it will typically open up this page if you click on any of the links or any of the elements. And sometimes you might not want that to happen. So in some cases, you might want to take somebody to a link by directly clicking on any of these elements in the collection. And this is what Notion allows you to do. So if you use this feature over here, it's where I implemented it, and I click on any of these boxes here, it will actually directly take me to that website instead of, taking me to the actual page like it would in other use cases. And the way to actually set this up is to add a property in your collection in Notion, which is called super : and then link. And it has to be written like that. And then you can add the link to that property. And again, this way, Super will actually automatically recognize that you are trying to use this feature, and therefore will use the link collections in your Super website. Next up, you can actually paste code snippets to your Super website. And you can do that in the code section over here. For this, you might want to have some experience with, HTML and CSS, and you can use that to add custom styling. So you can use that to style the website yourself. And you can also use that to include third-party software, like, for example, your email marketing tool, analytics tools, so like tracking cookies, to kind of see which pages on your website get visited the most often. You can also use that to include things like a membership site, or like a purchase button, so that people can actually buy something on your site. All of these things are possible when using Super. Next, Super provides a couple of really helpful snippets that allow you to do, common things in Super that otherwise wouldn't be possible. So for example, if you have a database, like in my case, the recommended tools database, and you go to any of these elements in the database, you'll typically get this default Notion header, right? So same as in a normal Notion database, if you go to any of the pages, you'll have this icon, you have the title, and so on. And if you don't want that to appear inside of your database, then you can paste a snippet to that page. So in our case, if you only want to do that for the Elementor page, we could go to recommended tools and then click on this expand button over here, and then go to the Elementor page. Let's see where it actually is, over here. And here we can go to edit code. And now we can paste a snippet into the CSS part of this code editor. And you'll find the snippets in the course resources down below. So the first snippet is this one, and you see now this disappears. So the header disappears, and the icon disappears, and the title also disappears, just like that. Next, you can turn a callout into a full button, like you would expect a button to be in a normal website. And for example, I have this one over here, this callout. And if I edit the code again, go to the CSS, and then paste in this snippet, which is again available in the description, then this becomes a full clickable button. So again, no matter where I click, I will get redirected to the website. So again, really nice feature that Super has. Next, you can also change the default color, so the default background color and also the default text color. And there are two snippets for this. The first one is this one, and this will change the default text color. So if I now make edits to this and maybe gives us a completely different color like that, you see now the default color is green, which you probably don't want to have like that, but you have the option to do so. And then there's also the option to change the background color. So this would be this short snippet here, and you see the color already changed. If I change this again, you see how it has a completely different color like that. And this way you can also change the background of the entire page. And lastly, you can also change the default colors that Notion has, which Notion basically sends to Super. So if you want to display them in a different way, then you can do that in Super as well. So for example, here, this default Notion color for the text and this default color for the background, basically for the red background, they get sent over to Super. So it basically looks the same. But if you want the type of red to be different, for example, you can change that using this snippet. So let's paste it in here. And you already see that it kind of changed this color here as well. So let me show you how this works. In this case, if I wanted to change the color for the red, I could go to color text red and then change this color code over here. And this is basically, again, a hex color code. So you can just put in a different hex color code like this, for example, and now it's a different color. And also if I, change it like that, like this, and like this, now it's a bit like more of a blue color. You can also do that for the background colors, and you can do that down here. And you have the option to change any of the colors that Notion basically gives you. So yeah, lots of options to customize your website to however you actually like it to be. All right, that's it for this introduction to Super. I hope you enjoyed it, and I encourage you to check out Super if you want a way of building a website with Notion. Again, it's a really awesome tool, and I really like it. I was a skeptic at first as well, but then I tried it out, and I was really impressed with how easy it is to use. So yeah, I would really be interested in your opinion about this as well. So you can tell me if you enjoyed the tool, if it was easy for you to use it. And yeah, so let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.